Mark, what would you say makes the UK property market an attractive one for investors?
I think there's a fundamental supply and demand imbalance that still remains today, even post-Brexit. There are not enough properties being built. So the government set a target of, I think, 40,000 a year. We're not even achieving 20,000 that are being built right now. So there is a fundamental shortfall of properties available. It is a highly dynamic, wonderful environment to live. A lot of people want to live here and work here, and they need somewhere to live. So from an investor point of view, there are people who will rent the properties. From a developer's point of view, there are people who would want to either buy or rent your properties if you wanted to hold them. But underlying that is just there isn't enough land especially in London, and look around you. There's tight planning controls, and there just aren't enough properties available. So from an investor appetite, it's a great place to buy or develop.
And if they can find the right sites, then it's great opportunities for developers. But do they have a lot of problems securing finance?
They absolutely. It depends on the developer. So I would say in the current climate, it's going to be more difficult. Although the good developers, those who have a strong, solid track record, those who know lenders, who have access to the market, who have a good product, are developing the right stock in the right location, they'll find it slightly easier. But somebody coming into the market with no money, no experience, they're going to find life very, very difficult.
So give me a brief overview of the kind of process they need to go through to get loans, that sort of thing.
So, any lender worth their salt will want to know what kind of experience they've got. Have they done this kind of thing before? Is this one of many projects? Are they putting every last penny they have into one deal, or is this, one of many? The other thing is, do they have a good team behind them? So, is this the kind of thing where they're going to try and do it themselves? The problem we have in the UK is there's too many property shows on TV where show somebody going into an auction room, buying a property, and 5 minutes later you see this newly built property and they said they did it for 10 grand.
Yeah, not on property TV.
Of course not. So, it depends on the property, it depends on the location, it depends on the finish. So, take for example where we are here in Vauxhall Bridge Road. We're in a wonderful apartment on a roof terrace overlooking, with a wonderful view. This comes with a premium, and anybody worth their salt, and any investor or any family would love to have a property here. You go out a little bit further, you won't get the same premium, you won't get the same cost and benefit, being maybe slightly outside of these prime areas.
And the Brexit vote, what kind of impact will that have on lending in the property industry, do you think?
I think it's very, very early days, and it's very hard to say. What we are seeing, and again, we're a week in, what we're seeing is people are taking stock. They're a little bit cautious. They haven't switched off the tap altogether. They're just maybe revisiting and fine-tuning their risk. But it's not about stopping lending. It's about lending to the right people, as I said, and without repeating myself, on the right scheme. So if you're lending to somebody who has a really strong track record, who's got a good, solid team behind them, we're going to continue to back people like that. Whereas if you're lending to somebody without that, it's going to be slightly more difficult.
So is it important for lenders to have a close relationship with investment companies?
Very much so, very much so. A lot of the people we lend to, for example, will have a mixture of their own equity in deals, as well as people who are providing equity alongside them. And they bring a wealth of expertise, of cash. They may see things that the developer may have missed. And if you have people who work closely together, it could often benefit a developer hugely. The other thing that it brings into them is a lot of developers, and especially at the moment, may be opportunistic. They may be seeing multiple schemes that they want to do, but they don't have enough cash to leverage their different opportunities. Having the ability for an investor to provide some equity alongside a developer will allow them to do 2 schemes instead of 1, or 3 instead of 1, and the profits would go through the roof.
So it sounds like kind of quite a closed industry. How do people get involved?
It's closed, but it's also open. We as a business deal with financial introducers. 95% of our business, maybe 96%, gets introduced via specialist mortgage brokers, development brokers, structuring finance businesses. When you are around for a while, so we've been going for about 7 years, we've lent about £2 billion on more than 3,500 loans now. You build a reputation, and anybody worth their salt would want to deal with people who they know are going to deliver for them. And it's just about building that reputation for certainty, for delivery, and then they will find you, so to speak.
So what do you anticipate for the property market moving forward?
I think that we're in a very, very uncertain and volatile time right now. I think people are all taking stock. The banks don't know what's going on, the surveyors don't know what's going on, and lenders are worried. They're not worried to the levels of 2008 where the markets are completely switched off and there was no liquidity. It's nothing like that, and we don't expect the same level of drops. What we're waiting to see is what the true effect of Brexit is. Is it that the lenders are going to pull out? Is it that the surveyors are going to be too cautious and going to downvalue everything? Is it like what we're seeing at the moment with some of the funds closing shop so that they can't withdraw any funds? The problem we have right now is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when everybody's talking the market down. What they've got to realize is the fundamentals haven't shifted. There is not enough property being built. There are way too many people who still need somewhere to live. And if you throw those fundamentals, ignore the noise about the negativity, we should stay flat at least while we just take stock and then hopefully come out the other side.
Super positive message
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you.